Hey, what up there, Mikey? It is Thursday night, everybody, 9 p.m., and I'm feeling much better than I did last night, and it's time to talk some stuff with Mike. Hey, it's the Mike and Mish show. What up?
Yo,
You
what
like
is
that song?
up? What is up? Yeah, man, you're killing it. You should get some record label will be contacting you very
Good.
soon.
I
Scoop you
fucking
up. Yep.
M-
Forget the
Mike.
podcast. We've got a singer.
Hey, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. We got rain for the first time in a month.
Yeah. My
Football's on
daughter discovered a
TV.
small leak right here.
A
So that's
what?
great. I have a small leak coming in over
A
here.
small leak
Yep.
through,
Fucking rain. That's what happens. Just a
through the foundation.
little. No, I have this fireplace right here behind me. It's like
Is it? Is it on?
it's not on because it'd be friggin' so hot
You
right
got
behind me.
your
But
cheeks would
yeah,
be all toasty.
where the exhaust is, this part right here, there's like a little water coming in. So I'm just gonna go fix that shit. It's always something to
Oh,
fix,
no.
damn it.
You know, being a homeowner is a real piece of shit, huh?
Yeah, it's called home ownership.
Homeowner
Not
shit.
home ownership, it's home ownership.
Oh, dude, I have a rental homeowner shit too, and that shit fucking pisses me off on like a weekly basis, dude. I love my house. It's,
To
it's
learn
enough of a
more,
pain in the ass to have a second one. It's dumb. Um,
yeah,
we
house
got
is
people already
stupid.
watching, dude. We got Andrew Strode over there, my cousin Bill over in the house
What
over
is
there.
up?
Prestige Worldwide Wrestling is watching over on Instagram. Excuse me,
Wow.
on Instagram. Um,
You dying?
but yeah, I am dying.
Just have like just an hour and then die after that.
Big Ben Vanaski, our boy Big Ben, is playing softball right now down in Florida. His team is up 12 to up by 12. And I talked to him earlier today. I said, if you don't hit more than 3 home runs tonight, you're a fucking bitch. And you know what he's got right now? 4 dingers.
No way.
Yep, he's got 4 dingers up by 12.
Hey, you don't happen to go to Polk High School, do you?
Yeah. He's about the closest thing we know to an Al Bundy, huh?
I think he is. He might be.
I love that
4
guy.
touchdowns in 1 game.
4 touchdowns in 1 game. What's up, everybody? We got Joe Ivy, Bulls, Beers, and Brawls. We got Julie Holder Hitson, my bad.
Hitson.
Absent-minded. We got all the regulars in here. Ike's in the
Yep.
house. What's up, everybody? We got a good show tonight. We got only 1 guest, but we're going to talk a lot about some things. Travis Thompson in the house. What's up, man? See you in Philly for sure.
Yes. Oh my God.
We got a bantamweight, a guy that fights in Travis Thompson's weight class on tonight. We got Ace Samples coming on. He's stepping back in the squared circle December 6th in Georgia. On the BKFC 69 card. I can't wait to talk to him. And then after we finish talking to Ace, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Because outside the circle tonight, tons of topics, right, Mike?
Yeah, we've got some topics. We've got some things to talk about. There's some things that have happened, some things that are going to happen, some things that are going to happen, but we don't know nothing about. But hopefully, we can do a little bit of detective work over the next week or 2 and see if we can fucking dive into that. But let's do some guesswork tonight, shall we?
Guesswork. Yeah, that's all we're going to do is guesswork tonight.
We're going to guess.
Yeah. So before we bring Ace on, I rewatched both of his fights today, and I'm ready to discuss some things with him because one of the things that I noticed, and I think we notice this all the time, is Derek Perez has an iron face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I was rewatching the fight with him and Ace, I just many times now we have watched, I think, Derek Perez fight 6 times or 5 or 6 times in the BKFC, and he seems to get hit with shots like that in every goddamn fight that he's in, and he just hangs in there, man. That guy's tough as fuck. So we're gonna talk to Ace about his last 2 fights and his upcoming one against Mike Livingston. Let's shout out our sponsors real quick, and then we'll get the man on.
Yes, let's do this.
Yeah. First and foremost, Mike, we got these guys.
Oh boy, what do I do? Here we go. Dynamic Life, sexual health, weight loss, and anti-aging. Retake control of your life by reaching optimal health. Visit www.livedynamic.com. It's the only online platform where you can become a patient in under 20 seconds. Also, check out their Instagram page at Live Dynamic. That's LIV Dynamic on Instagram.
Outstanding, Mike. Good work as always. And then get over to the Rasha, everybody. On Instagram, you'll find them at Rasha Elite. On their website, it is www.therasha.com. The Rasha is designed to elevate your mindset to an elite, high impact, high performance championship level. Unlock parts of your brain you didn't even know existed with the Rasha. Get over to their Instagram and their website and learn and find out, just like me and Mike. There it is. That's the new stack. Lived a dynamic life in the Rasha. What do you say we bring on our first guest of the night?
Yes, sir. When we come back, we will be joined by Ace Samples.
The Rasha is a true scalar plasma energy technology with the most advanced base 12 frequency collection that protects, enhances, and harmonizes the autonomic nervous system. This can help a soldier, athlete, or animal improve their training, endurance, recovery time, and overall performance while achieving the ultimate victory-winning mindset called consciousness coherence. Once in this state of consciousness coherence, a soldier or an athlete is able to advance his target focus to a level where it is completely in the now present moment with relaxation and stress release. The Rasha is where science meets consciousness.
Boom, there he is. Welcome back to the show, Ace. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great, man. How are you guys?
Doing fantastic.
We are good as always, Mike. I mean, Ace, we are doing much better than last night. I was coming off of a cold, and now I'm feeling a lot better. I'm ready to talk some shit with you. First and foremost, you've been out of action since last October.
Yep.
Have you been doing anything else in between? How come we haven't seen you in the squared circle since October?
Man, a few things. Taking that loss to Derek was tough on me. I took a lot of things inside of the combat arena that was more just mentally. So just kind of stepping back and telling myself like that's never happened to me. I've never stepped in and contemplated whether or not I wanted to be in there. Now, once you're in there, you're going to fight regardless. But for me, kickboxing since around the age of 7, that's the first time I've ever just didn't. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. I'm sure other fighters and martial artists understand it, but for me personally, that was the first time that I ever just didn't have the dog in me that I know is there, what I'm always used to. So leaving the Perez fight, I got a little down, but it was okay. It was understandable. Rolled into Christmas, and then February 4th of this year, I lost my dad. And that happens to be my son's 4th birthday as well. So
Jeez.
It was, you guys have heard me talk before about my just mental health, and just I'm an advocate for suicide awareness. And I really believe my dad knew if he held on until it was my son's 4th birthday. I've learned my lessons the hard way my whole life, that he could sit there and go, all right, you little shit. Now you can't be sad on my death day because you'll be forced to celebrate your son's birthday. So my old man was strong, and he held on as long as he could. I'll always believe that he waited for that day, which brings me to the next thing. That's I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yes.
I had some challenge coins made. One of my best
Nice.
Ray Gun Designs, and my hashtag last fight was hashtag semicolon keep it rolling, the semicolons for suicide awareness. And this time, we all called my dad Big Chief. So it's for you, Big Chief. This is just trying to get everything back into order, man. Losing my dad was probably the single hardest thing that I've ever gone through. And it was tough. And, it's the best thing said to me was, it doesn't get easier. You just get stronger. And that's as true as I think it could honestly be said. So once I got through my taking care of my mom and, you know, my family and trying to make sure I was what I needed to be for everyone else, I went through a stage of just denial. Not to bring anyone else's life into it, but Brandon Bouchard, shortly after, lost his mom as well. And we were able to really be best friends again through
like lean on each other.
Yeah. And, you know, when no one else understood, I could call him and just cry and we wouldn't have to say shit. Like nothing needed to be said. It was what it was. So once I got through that stage, I really dug back into the gym. I took one of my 13-year-old kickboxers that I have out here, Hogan Ayers. He's 13 years old. We put him on a plane, flew his ass out to Vegas for the IKF World Classic. The kid's second in the world now. So I really dove back into my wrestling students, my kickboxers, and then I knew BKFC was coming to Georgia. I didn't want to poke and pry and bother my management and blow up Andy and everybody else, but I knew it was coming, and I knew there was no way I wasn't going to be here in my hometown on the card. I've got a massive following here. I know that all the tables sold out in almost no time, and I immediately reserved 3 of them right behind the ring, where I feel like Dave and all them would be sitting. Hopefully they are, and that was gone immediately. And then I needed like 5 more, and by the time I was in touch with Cranston, everything was sold. So it's
between you and Elmore, the whole damn place is sold out.
Yeah, bro. Me and Joe are just down south Georgia boys, man. Like I talk to that fool all the time, and it's, you know, sometimes it's about God, sometimes it's about me, sometimes it's about him, sometimes it's about the kids. He comes and helps me coach at times, and you know, he's really one of my best friends, and you learn a lot about how to address the public and how to promote yourself and the right way to go about business, watching and being around Joe Elmore. Joe Elmore's him and Maggie are very, very, very good at how they go about everything.
They're watching right now too. They're in the comment section. They said they're here right now. Yeah, they're great people. And hey, I wanted to go back to something. You mentioned something about your father passing away, and we're sorry for your loss. That's tough for anyone. Your dad passed on your son's birthday, and
Yes.
that is, and what you said is like you believe he waited for that day, so you can't be sad on that day. You're forced to celebrate. My grandfather, who I grew up with, when me and my mom and dad moved from one town to another, we moved in with my grandparents, and I worked with my grandfather on the farm every year from like 5 years old to like 20 years old before I went to the army. But that guy was like the closest grown up I ever met in my life. He passed away on my son's 6th birthday. And I never thought of it the way you just said that. And now that you say that, it made me feel good, dude. And he's right here, actually. This is my grandpa right here. Well, part of him. It's probably like his big toe, but I got a piece of him right here. So thank you for that. Now it's gonna like open my eyes up a little bit.
It really, my dad told me my whole life, he says, boy, you just like me, you're gonna have to learn the hard way. And you know, as I got older and as I got into the fight world, I took it very much to heart. And it's like, you know, there's a lot of just badass martial artists, wrestlers, bare knuckle fighters, but even though I took the loss to Perez, you're gonna have to show me. Like you're not. I got to be shown. I can't just be told and I accept it that something's gonna be a hard situation or they're better than me. I'm hard headed. I got to be shown. And I know my dad knew that my hard headed ass would grieve his death day every day for the rest of my life. So he, tough son of a bitch, he held on and was like, I'm going to get you one more time.
Yep. Think of me when you're cutting your son's cake every year. That's awesome, man. Hey, you fought, so he passed in February. You fought in October. So you said that something was going on with you that night in October when you went in there with Derek Perez, and you felt like you didn't have that dog in you for the first time in your fight career. You just didn't have that dog. Was something going on with you prior to that fight, that leading into that, something in the camp or whatever that like took you off your game, or was it just something that night, like something felt off?
It was really, honestly, man, a number of many different things. Really just stress. I spent a lot of my time trying to micromanage a lot of other areas for myself to ensure that I wasn't in trouble when it come close to fight time. And I had a great group of people. I had, Dave Baumgarten. I started out with Micah, and I had a lot of awesome. I had my best friends fly out here from California. I had a lot of really big support, but I also, for the first time, kind of took a back seat. And if something made me feel uncomfortable, I was just like, focus on the fight, don't worry about it. And I'm not going to say any of it was bad or great. It did exist in my head. It was there. It was a part of it. It was a factor. And I just like to have a clear conscience. I don't like having anything else going on. So it's like for this go round, I'm at home. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life. I feel phenomenal, and I'm not stressed out at all. Like,
did you take on the Joe Elmore approach? He's doing the no sugar, no drinking. He's got this real crazy strict diet going on. We were talking to, I know you were watching last night. Like, he's going all in right now. I was like, okay.
I'm so proud of Joe. When he come down and spent some time with me when he fought in Virginia against Peg. And I went up there with him, and just a dog fight, man. And he was in great shape. But Joe is my homie to the point where, like, if I'm not ready, he can be like, dude, you're not ready. You don't have a choice to not do it, but you're not ready. And it's same with Joe. Joe knows I can be like, you're dragging your fucking feet, dog.
Yeah, you need those kind of people in your life.
Yeah, for me and Joe, it's very much accountability friends. Like,
yeah,
he 2.5 hours from me. But if I've got a 20 or 30-minute drive up the road, I'm just going to call him. Hey, what's up? How you feeling? What's going on? How's your mind? How's your body? How's your weight cut? What are you eating? And he does the same thing for me. And it's great. It really is. And it keeps, more than anything, it keeps the mental side of things in check.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to mask an emotional issue you're going through when you're in the back. You're already nervous. I was always told, if you don't have nerves before a competition like this, then you just need to retire. Like, your body needs those nerves. It needs to fuel that adrenaline. It needs to spike for you. You need to be nervous. You need to be confident. You need to be cocky. You just got to know when to be which one. But you need the nerves. And I love those nerves. But once those other little side thoughts start coming into you, and you know that they're about to tell you to walk, and then you have to put on a complete front that's not a part of your brain at the time, then the second things go downhill in that ring, then you start remembering them. Oh, well, and to some people, it becomes a tiny excuse. For me with Perez, it became a tiny excuse. It became a tiny excuse for me that, I've had so much going on, and it became a larger reason for him to just go ahead and get down to dirty. And that's the fight game. That's what I'm so excited about with this fight is we're going to fight. I don't have to smile if I don't want to smile. I right now in this moment don't know how I'm going to be at media day at weigh-ins on my walkout. I mean, I might be jumping and dancing and smiling, or I might just step back there, talk to my pop, and get into a really just demonic, ready to roll mindset and go do demon shit.
Either way, you know that you're performing in front of your people, man. That's got to feel better than ever. Like, I would imagine, we talked to Joe last night, and the opportunity to fight on the debut card in Georgia means everything. And I would imagine that feels the same way for you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to travel. You don't have to travel too far. You're gonna have are you gonna have like are you still coaching wrestling and doing stuff? Are you gonna have a bunch of your students or kids there?
So pretty much all my wrestling students, their parents,
Nice.
they're all. They'll be sitting up in the upper seats just because those kids love me, and you never know what the fight could turn out to be. I mean, it's one of those moments where I need to prepare them, but I need to prep them in a way that it's, hey, Coach Ace might get hurt. I might get hurt. But more than anything, I can be like, listen to me. I will not fold in front of you. I cannot.
Listen. And for those kids that are going to be there, just because you're not down on the floor at those tables doesn't mean you don't have the best view in the house, because sometimes the better view is in those upper, like mid-level seats, because you get a much better view of the ring. Trust me, Mike and I are down by the ring all the time, and we have to rewatch the fights afterwards. We got to go on the app. We got to rewatch because we feel like we see it all right there, but there's ropes in the way. There's cameramen in the way. There's friggin' referees in the right. Those kids are they're gonna have the best night of their life. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, man. I can't wait to, once it's all said and done, go hug those kids' necks and know that they're gonna look at me like, you're my coach, Coach Ace. You did it. You did it. And what I love about all my kids in this room, and what I know they love about me, is the sentence "you did it" is very, very, very simple. You did it. It's not you won or you lost. Some of the kids, when they go into some of these larger wrestling tournaments with me, I'm like, listen, bro, you did it. And they were like, well, I got pinned in the first round. No. You did it. You did it. You got better. You did it.
Yeah,
so I know
that's
no matter
awesome.
what, I'm going to go to this group of kids and parents, and all they're going to have is, we love you. You did it. You did it. You did it. It's just my job to go up there and make sure that I still look as pretty ugly as I am now without all the extras.
Well, listen, man, I remember talking to you the first time you fought. After you fought Glendale Futrell, we were backstage and we interviewed you, and I was like, so what are your plans here? Like, I believe you said that night, I want to say like Reggie Barnett was the champ at the time, but I think you like basically said 2 fights from now, I'm going to be the world champion in the 135-pound division. And I was like, whoa, this guy is got a lot of motivation after his first fight here. And I believed you though, man. And I'm listening to the way you talk right now. You're super motivating. You got your head straight, and I cannot wait to see you perform this time, because even though you say your head wasn't in the game for the Derek Perez one, you got to go back and watch that fight and know that in that first round you were fucking cracking him with bombs. That guy's got a metal face. I don't know.
Zombie, like, shout out to Derek. That guy's a zombie, bro. Like, and it's, shout out to Keith, because Keith put Derek out, and then shout out to Alberto Blas, because Alberto did that to Keith. And at the end of the day, it's the only difference in this conversation is, and with all due respect, now I'm after Blas. There is no, this sport is not to play around in. It's I'll be 35 in March. I love it, but my brain has to stay on the train of, I'm coming for the belt. I'm coming. That's the motivator. That's the pushing factor. As soon as I got done with Perez, I had to make myself do it. And I know it may seem very cliche, but the first thing I did was go straight to Feldman and say, I'm sorry, that wasn't me. Like, I needed him to know that then, and I get to now show him here at home that, and it's never it wasn't with Easy E. It wasn't me talking shit to him. It wasn't, I brought Dak Gwynn's name into it. It's not, I'm not talking shit. I'm stating my path. I was just talking with Ryan Reber yesterday after the podcast was on. I told him, I was like, look, bro, let's mix it up. That conversation would have been no different if Reber would have beat Blas.
Right.
It would have still been, what's up, bro? Let's mix it up. Like, I'm not interested in being in there. I'm interested in being there. And this is too dangerous of a sport to not have that mindset. Like, it's not worth it, man. It's especially in our weight class at 135. Guys are fast and dangerous, and Blas hits hard. Everybody that's been put in front of him is just. Me and Joe were talking about it one day. It's like guy's just he's just an animal. He's just an animal. But
yeah, he's a firecracker, man. He comes out there and like he shot out a cannon all the time.
Yeah, he's
And
lightning fast too.
as soon as he touches somebody, I don't know. He must. I don't know what it is, man. If it's just the power, the precision, whatever it is, when he touches people, they just fall. They get hurt. He is very fast, man. We've yet to really see what happens when he goes into later rounds because people just can't get past that initial barrage of punches that he puts on.
Right. And
It's
that was
never
what
easy.
Ryan had. Remember, that's what Ryan had told us. He said, "I'm gonna take him in the deep waters because he's never been there before," and it didn't work out because Ryan got the same fate as everyone else. It was freaking. We've yet to see it. I can't wait to see who cracks that code because we love this sport, and sometimes we like to see belts change hands.
Look, like at the end of the day, if Boston's watching, but bro, you got to show me. You got to show me. Like, you have to show me. I have to know. I have to know. Now you get up there. I make my way through the fights, and Dave sees that it's fit that I end up in front of Bloss. He starches me the same way he has everybody else. Cool, bro. You showed me.
Are you interested in the other bantamweight fight? So on the card, the feature bout in Atlanta on December 6th, the feature bout, Nate Maness is coming over from the UFC. He's a stud. Yes. Now you go out there and get a win over Mike Livingston. Is a Nate Maness fight someone that you would be interested in? Because he's fighting his first fight. You're coming off a loss. You get a win. Now you're back in the win column. You're 2-1. He's 1-0 coming over from UFC. That might be a nice fight for you in the future, and that might get you that much closer to a Bloss fight.
If it paves the road to where I need to be, then that's up to my management team. I'm not one to turn down any fight, but if it makes sense at this point in my career, that decision is up to me. I tend to be an impulsive guy to where if Bloss and Manos and all them go in the comments right now and they're like, "Oh, I'll check you, homie. I'm gonna fuck you up," then I tend to be like, "Then show me." And
he's actually in there right now saying that to you, man.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm just kidding.
He's not in there.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
But you know who is in the comments? And I wanted to ask you a question because Joe Elmore is in the comments, and
yes, he is.
He's saying you're going to flatline Mike on December 6th. But last night in the comment section, you said some of your favorite memories are hanging at Joe Elmore's house.
Yep.
Are there any stories that you can tell us that are funny or won't get you guys in trouble about the goings on that happens in the Elmore house? He says no. Kissing.
So
what happens at the Elmore house stays at the Elmore house.
Drive out there. This is a pretty comical story. I drive out to Joe's one day, and I take myself out there, and we're gonna spar. We link up, and then we go over to the gym, and we're in there. And keep in mind, like until this point, I might have flowed with Joe in the past, hell, we've been around the fight scene. I don't even know how many years now, but. As far as getting in the room and mixing it up with him, I hadn't. So I walk into Georgia Pro MMA. They invited me out. I walk into this just sea of just pros that are all way bigger than me. Like I'm not a big guy. And I just remember walking in, and the girl I was dating at the time was like, "Oh my God," because it was just a steam room of sweat. And like I was like, "Yes, we're here." I drove like 2.5 hours to get out there. So we get going. We get to mixing it up, and I cracked Joe with a hook, and Joe said, "You motherfucker," and did that crazy Joe face, and I was
I can see it.
I'm a little guy. Next thing I know, he just flashes me, and I hit my knees, and I come up, and I'm like, man. And I look at Joe, and Joe's looking at me the same way. He's like, I've never been hit that hard by a little guy. So we just keep moving. We trained all evening. Well, that night, I go to leave, and I'm driving home, and I'm driving 2.5 hours down the highway. And man, I've never been behind the wheel drunk. That just kind of that's just something that just kind of scares me. But I had a bad concussion. I had a thing was just whoom, whoom. So I'm driving and I'm driving and I'm driving and I'm driving. And I finally told the girl, I was like, you're going to have to drive. I just remember getting up the next day and calling Joe and be like, damn, bro, you cracked me hard. And he was like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Nobody hits me that hard anymore. So I had this nice little yeah. But for those of you that don't know, Joe's got a melon, bro. Like, my God, Joe's head is like, it'll break your hand.
It'll break a Louisville Slugger.
It's a whole melon. I love Joe though, man. Like him and
yeah, he's good people, man.
If I need any advice on anything, I can call Joe at any time. You know, I could call that.
Just don't call him at 10:30 at night when his wife is sleeping, right?
Ace, don't call him at 10:30.
If I called at 10:30 at night and Maggie was sleeping, I assure you, Joe said, "Hey, bub, what's up? Are you okay? Are you okay?" And Maggie, Joe, is Ace okay? But you know, I don't really know if Ruben called or like.
that shit was crazy last night.
He was a little upset about it, just a tad bit, just this much, just about this much. That's all.
Joe says you can call him at 1 a.m. He doesn't care what time you call him. Andy Hall says, what about memories of naked dudes walking through the hotels? But I don't think you were there, Ace. Did you ever hear?
Yeah,
you were there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. So the guy just walks in, goes to the counter, just ass cheeks.
Yeah, we're
dude, to this day,
I have it all on video.
Like, yeah, I got a video too. It's just like this guy, and then I think we all joked about it because I'm gonna be honest with you, this man was confident. Like
he had the watch on.
Was just like,
yep. He said he got mugged for all of his shit, but they let him keep his watch.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense.
We're like, yeah,
whatsoever.
right.
So, you know what added insult to injury was the fact that he comes in and he could have come in on any night probably or any time, but he came in, just happened to be that we all just got back from being out and it was like fucking 2 a.m. or something. And there's 15 people in the lobby, bare knuckle fighters, friends, corners, like just laughing our asses off, filming them. So this guy's, what the fuck? It's 2 a.m. Thought I was going to walk in here and be embarrassed just to be in front of the people at the hotel, like the desk, you know, maybe one or two people maximum, but no, there's a fucking whole party going on. Comes in there, he goes upstairs, and to add insult to injury, the fucking card they give the guy doesn't work for his room, so he has to get back in the fucking elevator and then come back down. And here he comes back around the corner again from the elevators, fucking naked. And then the cop came, and then a fucking cop showed up.
I mean, he was just not trying. I mean, he was just like, "Yo." So
remember he looked at us and he was like, "Fuck you!" Like, yeah,
that shit was so
he was like
funny.
Swinging his dick out. Oh my god. I really need to get on this video and put blurs over it. So
yeah, Mike has a full blown like video of the entire incident, and he's been saying he's gonna blur out the fucking crotch area
over a year.
it would be a hilarious video. That guy, you probably have to blur his face too. Right?
I was on my phone talking. I was texting somebody back, writing somebody back. And I'll never forget, I don't even remember who it was that was to the left of me, but all I heard was, that guy's got his dick out. And I was like,
yeah, somebody said that.
I think I actually got that on film when someone said that. And Andy Hall's like standing at the door. He's like, did you send that guy here?
That was great, man. That was an awesome debut, though. Like, I really, speaking of Futrell, man, that's a great guy. Like Glendale, he's a great guy, and I'll never forget the feeling I had walking down there to the ring to just get down there and realize this guy's tall and long as shit. Like, God, like, oh my God. I remember the first jab he threw, I was like, dude, I couldn't have even kicked him in the head. Like, if I wanted to kick him now, I was still out of range. It's. But I mean,
you know what? He was so long that you had to rip his arm out of socket, right? That's what happened in that fight. Didn't his arm get dislocated or some shit? That must have been the game plan for you, Ace. You know what? This guy's too fucking tall. I'm gonna rip one of his fucking arms off. That's what it is.
So what's funny about that is Greg Blassingame, my master, he's a Filipino Kyushu instructor, and he does do a lot of nerve ending striking. Just the elbows, the clavicle, the shoulders. And everybody watched the fight back, and I threw an overhand, and it hit Glendale in the shoulder. And then we were bullshitting later on. He was like, dude, I don't know if that had something to do with my shoulder going out. And so I took that to Master Greg, and I was like, I punched his shoulder out. And he was like, no, that's not how. I was like, dude, watch. He didn't want to go anymore. But I don't know if I've told you guys this. I was gassed going in what would have been the 4th round. I don't know what adrenaline. I don't know what it was, but I remember going over to my corner, and in my brain, I'm thinking I'm going to the 5th round. I don't know what the hell that was about. So I'm like, all right, Ace, 120 seconds. You have got 120 seconds. You can do anything for 120 seconds. And then I look over, and the beautiful ring girl holds up a 4, and I was like, what the fuck?
340. No, 340. Fuck.
No. And then they said that he wasn't continuing. I was like,
hallelujah.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
How were your hands? I always like to ask that. After your first BKFC fight, how were your hands? Some people like they learn from the first one that like I got to stop swinging so fucking goddamn hard. I got to place my shots better. I got to stop hitting on the top of the head and on the sides of the head because it just destroyed my hands. Did you experience any of that in your first one and change anything up from the first fight to the second one?
Yeah, I still tried to really throw a lot of bombs at Derek just because I knew he had a chin. I watched him take a lot of shots, but what I've really realized, I don't know if you guys and I have had this conversation before, but I broke my right hand when I was really young, 12, 13 years old, and it just never really kind of went back right, honestly.
How'd you break it?
Compound fracture. I punched a guy, and it broke, and I just kept punching, and it just all come out my top of my head.
Ouch.
It's horrible. Sucks, but
a compound fracture in your hand.
Yeah, right up here, dude.
Jesus, I've never seen that before.
It was horrible.
Compound fractures in arms and legs, but never in the hand.
Young, hot-headed, dumbass, just being an idiot, basically, essentially. But
we've all been there.
Surgery on it. They told me they'd have to put a plate in it, and I didn't know if they put a plate or something in my hand, or however they would need to fix it. If there was any screws or pins, I got real in my brain. I was like, you can't do that. Like, it'll just heal, because then I might not ever be able to fight again. Like, if you put a screw or a pin in there, like, they might not ever let me fight because I've got something in my hand. So I just didn't. So now my hand is like abnormal. Like, this one's this big, but like my right hand is.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's abnormally.
Yeah, it's like.
It's abnormally.
It's like a third of the size bigger than your other hand. That's crazy.
It's a lot bigger, but it's also very like short and stumpy. So I don't know if it.
Weird.
This I don't feel shit with. I don't have the nerve in the finger anymore. So if it just gets destroyed, it just kind of it kind of is what it is. My left hand will swell up for weeks though. Like the hook after I hit the trail with it was, I was telling one of my buddies the other day, so I'll never forget you coming out there to our VIP table and having bags of ice on your hand and me trying to give you a fist bump and it being very awkward. I'm like, don't do that. And that's like the public service announcement. Yeah, bro, is not the way to congratulate us. Like, great gesture.
I always find it very funny when, after the fight, after you guys are done fighting, when you come over and Kyle does an interview, and at the end he's like, all right, man, take care, have a great night, thanks for the interview. And then you guys kind of go in and it's like you just put your hands in front of one another.
It's like the daintiest.
You're just like pretending to shake hands, but you're not actually touching. It's the best. Or he'll like go up real quick and then he'll like stop, like pull back, and then you guys will like really touch fists like super soft. It's the fucking at the end of every video.
Joe Elmore just sent me a Joe just sent me a full frontal video of the man
that
in the
guy. Yeah. He was right next to me when he was filming videos, and he chased the guy around the corner too, which was really funny.
It was Elmore like ran around the corner filming the dude. And
I went with him. This. Yeah, I had to.
Of course, Joe chases him. Like,
he did, and he got on the elevator, and we started talking to him, and he gets on the elevator, and then all of a sudden he comes back off the elevator to like answer the question, and I was like, this
So
dude's
funny.
fucking nuts.
That was funny. And then he never even put anything on until the cop got there to give him a sheet. Like, put a sheet on this guy, would you?
Yeah, the cop came in and immediately was like, get a sheet for this guy. And it's like, how come none of us even asked that? Because we just love the embarrassment, I think, of the whole thing.
We should have him figure out who that guy was and bring him on the show one day.
Yes, yeah.
Bring on the show. That'd be fucking great.
Be like, so rumors are you had ordered a male prostitute. Is that true?
Right.
I swear to God, the rumors we were hearing the next day were just insane. But they were
when they
all
robbed you, how did you get away with your watch? How about that? Tell us that one.
right.
Oh, it's fucking great.
Question.
Ace, good times. I wish we were going to be in Atlanta for this one because, you know, us fucking Army guys, we have to make decisions in life, and we can only pretty much make it to one out of each month if we make it to one per month. And my drill, I don't know about, does your drill land on the
Yeah. Oh, of course.
So yeah,
I
so
actually
Mike and
think what they
I
do is they go to the BKFC brass and they say, hey, when are you guys having events? Because we're making the schedule for next year. And we need to make sure that we put every single drill on all the weekends that fights are going on. Okay.
which is happening more and more with them doing events almost every freaking weekend. It's like,
I know.
Yeah, so Mike and I both have Army shit going on that weekend. We will be watching probably with friends, but we'll be rooting for you, man. I just wanted to ask you, Joe said earlier in the comments that you're gonna flatline Mike with confidence. He wrote it in big bold letters. How do you see this fight? Do you do any positive visualization? Do you like think about how do you play it out in your brain? When you play this fight out in your brain, how do you see it playing?
I've said it to any of my friends or any of my students or anybody that's been in the gym with me for any amount of time. I've said it, and I don't really give a fuck if Mike's listening or not. You know, he's predominantly an orthodox fighter. I've trained everything I know how to do, left foot forward and right foot forward. I can switch my stance. I love my footwork. If he lines up and comes to me orthodox, the second he flinches and raises, I'm going to knock him out the exact same way Conor McGregor knocked Aldo out. He has the exact same step pattern. He has the same exact feint. And it's going to be a very beautiful display of destruction. Like I know I've watched his film. You know, he's had a bunch of boxing matches. Usually doesn't fare well. I'm not going to get into a dogfight with him. I'm not going to make this a grunt and try to knock him out and throw wild overhands, kind of like I did with Perez. I'm too damn good for that. I'm too good. I'm too fast. I'm too clean. That would be me downgrading what my skill set is. And if there's going to be a chance to come back and just make sure that I make amends with my own self for my last outing, then that I'm just going to make it a very, very clean view. And bro, I went and seen Brooks and Dunn at the Greenville Country Music Festival, swole shut from Derek Perez. Had those tickets for a year. Didn't see shit. Fuck that. No, I have a big after party at 1785 in Athens, right there at UGA, the following night after the fight, 45 minutes from the venue. So I'm going to need to be able to see and talk and communicate and probably hold a beer.
Dude, I love that. I think people in the audience, in the comment section, love that too. The play out that you just did there, and with this fight here, you said you had to make amends with yourself from the last one. You have a lot to fight for this time. You're in your home state. You're in front of your students, and you got your father watching. So I feel like your mind is right for this one. You know what you learned from your last one's mistakes, and everything. Every loss is a learning experience. You're going to go in there and perform in front of your people. I'm excited. Can't wait to see you fight. I wish we could be there live. With that said, we're going to let you get going because we've had you for a long time here. Anything else you want to say to anybody that's listening, your students, sponsors, whatever? This is your time. Go ahead.
Guys, any of you that have been with me through this rocky road of martial arts, I love you. It's tough. It's hard. It's dark. It's beautiful. I'm happy. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. I'm excited. I look forward to performing at home. The last time I was able to fight at home was my professional debut at Wild Bills for David Oblas, and it's one of the greatest memories of my life. So to now turn around and do it 10, 15 years later for BKFC is monumental. I've got a lot of awesome sponsorships that are coming on board. I'm going to have a billboard. Billboard Nerds is going to put me on a billboard right here in Athens. I just went and walked around the entire Takedown sportswear facility today. Been working with them. I got some awesome things in work. They're wanting me to kind of be one of the faces for BKFC inside of them. Well, they've got Marab. I've got a ton of support, man. And I've got my dad watching. There's been a lot of people that have helped me along the way, but I do specifically want to, and not bring up anyone else. All my sponsors, I'll read a quick list in a second, but Dustin and Katie Ayers have been my confidants, bro. That's my 13-year-old kickboxer that I took out to Vegas. That's his parents, and they trust me through and through with him.
Is Hogan Ayers the 13-year-old?
Yeah.
He's watching. He said, "Tell Ace I see him."
That's my dog, baby. That's my
Nice.
bull. That's it, man. And
Cool name too, Hogan.
Yeah, Hogan Havoc Ayers. The kid's a demon, dude. He really is. He's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna read this list of sponsors off, man. I got so many, I had to write them down. Miss Katie got me Ed Murdoch Superstores. I went and did a meet and greet over the weekend at Cosmos Pizza. Met with Dustin Cowell and them today, those guys today at Takedown. Happy Ending Tattoos is going to do me a beautiful sponsorship for just a full sleeve of like some nice Aztec work. KC Tent and Graphics are doing all my fan shirts. Alumni Roofing and Gutters. It's one of my best friends, Dusty Guest. We work together. I run all of his guttering. More tire service right here in Danielsville. It's our sheriff. He owns the tire service. He was gracious enough to put some tires on my truck when I couldn't really afford it, and I still owe him some money. But more than anything, I just want to show him that we absolutely support him. Jonathan Hicks with Hicks Grading, Brett Gomes Contracting, Sean Dover. His daughter is Carolyn Dover. She's one of the most decorated youth girl wrestlers in the country. His company, K&S Fiber Optics. David Firestein with Firestein Photography. He's going to be following me around, doing me some video footage. Shout out to Cole Farrell. Cole got me in touch with him. He actually has his daughter wrestling with me now. Nick Webb with the Diesel Authority. We had his business partner and a good friend of mine, Jeremy Busby, was in an accident some years back and actually lost his life in their shop. So I'm going to get with him and get the logo and fly high, Jeremy. We love and miss you. My best friend, Randy, he's the one that hooks up my coins. You guys go and get you one.
Where can we get them?
Mike Carroll's Heating and Air, and my big brother Antonio, man, he's in the gym. He helps me with the kids. And my mom, I'm always gonna be a mama's boy, always, and forever. And Joe, you with your big ass ugly head.
Hey Ace, where can we get the coins?
Go to Ray Gun Designs. I'll get Ramy. I'll tag Ramy in here. Ramy's actually going to be making a lot of them. You guys may have a possibility to collect them from a lot of different various BKFC guys. Joe's going to get some made. Ramy's making mine. Chachi Versace's getting some made. We really want to be able to advertise it as a way where, not a disrespectful way, but like Ruben and Joe, there's a little bit of feud going on right there. So for Joe to take his challenge coin next time he sees Ruben, flick it to him and say, what's up, dog? You down? that makes it a legit challenge.
The challenge coin. I love that. That's a military thing too. It's a challenge coin. I love that. Yeah. Mason Casper says, "Tell Ace Hannah says hey and that she loves him."
Yo, Hannah, that's my 170-pound icebox. She's built like a brick shithouse, bro. She's she's in 9th grade. She's a New Way National Wrestling Champion, Georgia girls back-to-back champion, South Carolina girls champion.
Wow,
nice.
Over the
Holy
country.
Shit.
Solid, bro. None of my boys
kidding.
Wrestling her. She's the truth, but she's never strayed away from what I demanded of her in the room. She pushes until I tell.
And you can spell her name forward and backward, and it's the same name.
That's awesome.
Boom. It's a palindrome, I believe. I think I learned that, right? Am I right about that, Mike? Is it a palindrome?
You did it.
Fucking A right, my friend. Listen, Ace, thank you so much for coming on here. We love talking to you. We love watching you fight. December 6th, we will be tuned in. Mike, do you have anything else for Ace?
Yes, Ace, thank you so much. I'm going to be getting one of those coins for sure. Need to add it. Got some coins, got to add it to the collection. So looking forward to that. I know people were asking about it in the comment section. Also, for the people who are watching, check it out. December 6th, Samples versus Livingston at BKFC 69 in Atlanta. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and bare knuckle fighting in general makes its debut. BKFC Atlanta in Georgia, man. How crazy is this? Another state has been unlocked. Thank
Love
you,
it.
David Feldman
Hey,
and the BKFC.
hold on one second. Ace, is
Yes, sir.
Duluth part of Atlanta?
That's funny you ask. So to a country boy like me from Madison County, once my ass hits 316, I'm in Atlanta.
Okay.
But it's not, I don't really think it's actually inside. That's a Joe question.
So the fights, it's all the advertisement says Atlanta, but I was
It says
messaging
northeast of Atlanta.
I was messaging with a fight manager tonight, and he was like, I got a few fighters that are fighting in Duluth if they can come on your show. And I'm like, Duluth, when the fuck is that? And he said December 6th. And I'm like, oh, maybe Duluth is part of Atlanta. I didn't know. So
yeah, they're right next to each other. I think
okay.
the arena is one of the best venues they could have actually gotten, which is pretty cool because the other night at my meet and greet, I met the head of security at Gas South Arena.
Okay.
He come to my meet and greet. I talked to him, got to know him. The amount of support that I've had that's reaching out to me not having to go out to them, it's been awesome, man. And there's a lot of us tough ass Georgia boys on the card, and I think people are going to look at our state a little bit different once they realize that this is our group and this is how we get down, and we're not light with it at all.
There you go. It's right on the edge. Not in Atlanta officially, but it's Atlanta. That's Joe Elmore saying it right there. So he put the stamp of approval on it. That's the ATL approval stamp. Boop, let's go. Thank you so much for coming on, Ace.
Yes, sir.
It's a pleasure. You're welcome back anytime. Mike, go ahead.
Yes. Everybody else, stay tuned because in just a few seconds, we're going outside the circle. Ace, take care.
Later, buddy.
Guys.
Later.
Thanks.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
buddy.
Here we are. Outside the circle has begun.
Thank you, Ace. That was a great conversation.
Yes. I like the challenge coins. I'm into it. I am into that for
That
sure.
was awesome.
I
Yeah,
wonder
the
how
challenge
many
coin
other
idea. I've never heard anybody outside of the military even mention a challenge coin.
I know.
Ever.
I know. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yep.
All right. Well, hey, let's go outside the circle because there's a lot of shit to talk about. Mike, what do you want to talk about?
Well, we did have a fantastical kind of weekend this past weekend. I mean, I did enjoy it. And, even though this fight was it was who we thought it was.
Exactly. I don't know what everyone
They
thought it was
were
going to
who
be.
we thought they were.
We let him off the hook.
Yeah, we did let them off the hook, but we're not going to let them off the hook right now. That fight fucking sucked. Point blank shit.
The fight sucked.
I would have rather slept.
I
stayed
sucked.
up way too late for this fucking thing, and I knew it was going to friggin' suck so bad. But the fight before it was fantastic. And the fight before that was fun too.
Yeah. I will say shout out to Barrios and Ramos and Taylor and Serrano because those two fights were fucking awesome.
Yes.
The main event was due to, and I will tell you this. The Mystic Mish post that I made, I heard him say something on a podcast. And I don't know if anybody listen to this. Do you know the Haktua girl?
Yes.
Whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah.
He has a podcast now called the Talk to Her.
Talk to Her. Yeah.
Talk to Her.
Talk to Her, not Hawk to Her. It's Talk to Her.
Yeah, Talk to Her. So Jake Paul was on her podcast like a week before the fight. And I don't know if Haley Welch. I don't know if anybody actually listens to her podcast. I do not. I saw a clip of it on something. And she said, "Do you have anything special planned?" And he said, "Well, all I can tell you is this. I'll be in a car and I'll be coming out to a song from one of his movies." So I'm like, the night of the event, about an hour before the main event, I said to Silas, who was over my house, I was like, you know what? He's probably coming out in the Mercedes convertible from Hangover to that Kanye song, Can't Tell Me Nothing, or In the Air Tonight, because that's what Mike's singing in the movie before he punches Alan out.
Yeah.
Dude, 1 hour later, that shit happened, but he came out in some like lowrider. I was wrong
He
on
was
the
in it.
car.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the Air Tonight was right. So I hit that one, bing, right on the head. The fight absolutely sucked. Mike
Terrible.
looked like he had a little bit of fight left in him in the first round.
Yeah.
And then maybe even a little bit of the second round. But he just did not look good. And Jake could have finished him. I don't know what. What I want to say about this fight is I don't know, but a lot of the people that like say it was a staged fight and like it was rigged. It was rigged
It was
to go
staged
to
in a way where he knew he was going to win the fucking fight because Mike Tyson can't move.
right. That's what I'm saying. It was, but for as far as Mike pulling his punches, I don't think that happened. What I do think that Jake Paul took it easy on him.
Yeah, it kind of did seem like he was not going all in on him. I mean, Mike was barely moving, and it's not his own fault. It's just Father Time has caught up to him. He has a bunch of injuries. He did get sick before. He put out we knew he got sick the first
Blood
time when
transfusion
they had to postpone the fight. He said he
Right.
had all these blood transfusions. He could be exaggerating about how many blood transfusions he got, but regardless, he's old and he's getting sick and things are happening like that. He's before this fight, he's not out there fucking practicing, boxing, training and shit for fights. Like, so here's the thing. When he started fighting and I noticed like he couldn't really move his legs, you could see something was wrong with his legs. He just doesn't have it, whether his knees are shot or whatever. He doesn't have what he needs to be successful as Mike Tyson. The way that Mike Tyson fights, he would never be able to catch up with Jake Paul. He just can't do it. He does not have the speed and power in his legs to be able to get inside and do what he needs to do. Jake Paul constantly stays on the inside and his lateral movement's just too fast for an old Mike Tyson, He still probably got the power to knock someone the fuck out, but he just can't.
I think we all got played by a bunch of 5-second training videos. And then he went out there at the open workouts and put on like a 10-minute performance of hitting pads. And everybody was like, oh, it is the real Mike Tyson. Yeah. But all those training videos that he looked like a fucking Terminator, those are all little spliced videos of like 10-second clips or 5-second clips. So I don't know why we all thought that this was going to happen.
You know what this reminds me of?
The fan in us wanted Mike Tyson to knock out Jake Paul, but once again, Jake Paul proved that he's one of the best promoters in the fucking world.
You know what this reminds me of in life is when I'm out and I'm drinking and you got to stop at the gas station.
Yeah.
And they've got these wonderful slices of pizza.
Oh,
and they look so good. And in the picture on the LCD LED screen on the TV, they've got Cumberland Farms pepperoni pizza. It's like a 2 for $3 and they're big pieces. You're like, oh my God, those look so good right now. I know they're gas station pizza. I know gas station pizza fucking sucks, but I'm pretty sure that
drunk Mike might love
really good. This is going to be a really good pizza. Even though I know in the back of my mind, you're going to get let down. You are buying pizza that you know fucking sucks, man. And I buy the pizza anyways, and I eat all the fucking pizza, and I'm like, wow, that fucking sucked. I shouldn't have gotten that pizza. That's exactly what that makes me feel like. And I hate it.
Mike Tyson fight was the equivalent of buying 7-Eleven gas station pizza at 2 a.m.
That's exactly what it
drunk.
was. I knew it was going to be shitty. But somehow they got me with the pictures and the heat in the nighttime, and I was like, "Wow, this is great." Under the heat lamp, all sweating and shit.
But you did get to see Mike Tyson's ass.
Yeah, that was probably the best fucking thing all night.
That was
the best. That was good.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
Why did that happen?
Listen.
Why did that happen?
I don't know why that happened. The weirdest part was he was being interviewed by his son. He was being interviewed by his son. right? That
Yeah.
was Mike Tyson's kid
I
interviewing
think
him.
so, yeah.
And he's like, Dad, can I ask you a question? Blah, 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 and this and that. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, all right, I love you, Dad. He's like, I love you too, son. Kisses him on his cheek, turns around, walks away, and his ass is hanging out.
Yeah.
We're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Heavens to Betsy is what
Heavens
I said
to
when I
Betsy.
saw
Oh,
that.
geez. Heavens to
I
Betsy.
said,
What?
ooh, heavens to Betsy.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Anyways, that
Yeah.
was crazy. They did break the all-time record for most viewed sporting event of all time, which is crazy to say, but it did. Big Ben says, can we celebrate a 4-year friendship? Today is our 4-year anniversary as friends.
Yeah.
I love you too, Ben. That's what he told me today. It's hilarious. The Katie Taylor Amanda Serrano fight. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano put on a classic, and they did it the first time they fought, and they did it again this time. I want to just say this: the headbutts were not egregious. I don't believe.
I think she just leads like this.
Dude, she leads
I don't
with her.
think
I mean,
she's trying to headbutt her.
No, those weren't like she wasn't like rearing back and fucking headbutting her. They clashed heads on the first one that cut her. And then she fights with her head forward, like she leans in for that coach, that Serrano's coach.
Yeah, he's been a little bitchy.
I don't. First of all, when did they ever go to the corner of a fucking boxing? And Ariel Helwani is live interviewing Serrano's coach during a fucking round, and he's like, "She's the dirtiest fighter I've ever seen. He's fucking dirty." Blah 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 blah. During the round, sound like a fucking asshole. He sounds like a complete dickhead. And then after the fight, they're in the ring. He like bomb rushes the fucking microphone and then goes off on a tangent about how Katie Taylor's the dirtiest fighter of all time. Like, dude, come on, man. Knock it the fuck off. Go back and rewatch the fight again, and you'll know that the one where she got the warning wasn't a headbutt, and the one where she got the point taken away wasn't a headbutt. She was leaning in, and like she like grazed her, she like rubbed her with her fucking head. It wasn't a headbutt. I watched it again today. So, anyways, I thought that was a great fight. That Big Ben says they should do a trilogy in BKFC. How many people would watch that? I think he means in. The thing about trilogies, guys, and I would watch a trilogy with these two, because they're great fights. But Serrano's lost both. But I'm saying, like, usually for a trilogy, you got to be 1-to-1. So I'm sure they could sell the idea of a trilogy based on the fact of the fucking headbutts and whatever.
Yeah, and people think that she may have won.
That she may have won, but all 3 judges had it for Katie Taylor. And I watched it again today. It was a fucking very even fight. I did think when I watched it that night, I thought that the point was going to give the fight to Serrano. I did think that the night of. I thought her losing a point was going to go to Serrano. If not, it was going to be a draw. I thought it was going to be a draw.
The total punches landed is pretty. It's a pretty, obviously people who watch combat sports know it's not by full totals, it's by rounds. So Serrano could have had, 3 or 4 really, really good rounds as far as landed punches goes, and then the others not so much. But yeah, so total punches landed 217 of 523. So hold on. What the hell? I'm trying to figure out why does it say body landed? So 217 landed out of 529 for Taylor, and 324 out of 734 for Serrano, man. Wow.
She threw a lot more, yeah.
Holy shit.
But dude, if you go back and watch the fight,
107 more punches overall.
Yeah. There was fights that she won like decisively. The first 2 rounds were Amanda Serrano's by a fucking landslide. But like when Taylor was landing her combo, she was landing like 3, 4, 5 punch combos at one point in the mid rounds. The mid rounds were Katie Taylor's rounds. It was.
It shows Serrano outlanding her in basically every single round, I think, except 2. I believe I don't know what kind of punches those are. I don't know what kind of punches those are. There's a lot of jabs because she definitely she outlanded jabs over 100. Like let's see, 140. Let's see, 148 more jabs she landed, Serrano.
Crazy.
So yeah, that's the thing. You just don't know what they were like, how they landed. Like, when people are measuring or something, they throw something out there, and it's like kind of like just barely like touching the person.
Yeah,
Is that counted as a landed jab? It made contact, So it depends.
I thought it was a great fight.
It was a very close fight, and it was a fantastic fight.
Yeah, and the one before it, Barrios and Ramos, we don't have to go too deep into that. Other than if you guys did not watch it, you guys should go back and watch it because those guys threw 1,500 punches at each other. Between the two of them, one of them threw like 789 and the other one threw like 750 something. It was fucking awesome. They never stopped swinging at each other the whole fight. It was great. And the opening fight for the main card, and we can move on to the next topic. The opening fight on the main card was like a comedian dude that had like 4 pro fights fighting a guy who was like 18-1 or something like that, or 18-0, whatever. The guy with a bunch of wins. Did you see what he was doing? Like clowning him, like punching him, and then like humping him in the corner of the fucking ring and stuff.
No,
like
I
that.
didn't see that. No.
Yeah, he was like really clowning the dude.
We had a humper.
Yes, we had a humper. It was funny.
He had a humper.
He got him like stuck in the corner at one point in the fight, and the dude like turned around, and the guy put his hands up on the ropes and started like fucking humping towards him. It was funny.
Geez, that's a thing that's been happening a lot lately.
Yeah.
I feel like I see that more often now. Twerking, humping, sexual things. Remember a fucking
Izzy Adesanya?
Yes.
Humping fucking Paulo Costa.
Paul Costa. That's what I was trying to think of. Costa.
Before we move on to the next thing, last thing I want to ask you, Mike, about this topic. At the end of the fight, Ariel Helwani asked Mike Tyson, "Is this it for you, Mike?" And he said, "I don't think so. I think I got more in me." Do you think he's got more in him?
No.
Like, respectfully. I mean, he should not fight again.
No.
He should take his $20 million paycheck, go do the Hot Box podcast, and just live his fucking life.
I mean, is he gonna box like guys his age, maybe for fun, like a fucking? But no, I don't want.
And how about Logan Paul?
Like, see it.
Logan Paul says, "I'll kill you, Mike.
I'll kill you."
He's like, "What, Mike? Dude, you could tell that
these people.
That was you could tell that Logan Paul didn't expect Mike to say that because the look on his face was like,
it was like he was like stunned. I know it was funny.
Yeah, he was like, huh? He was
kill
like,
you,
what?
Mike.
I'll kill you, Mike.
I get it's for like kind of like fun, and they're making money, and they're the people who really win, who really win, are the undercard fighters, not even just the undercard, but the people who are underneath the main event, right? So the main card fighters, but those are the people who win. Like that's the great part about this is putting eyes on the sport, making extra money for the real fighters that are there. Not that those guys aren't real fighters. I hate to say it, but you know what I mean. Like the people who are actually fucking fighting their asses off. That's their career. They have nothing else to lean on but that career, So it works out for them. Definitely don't want to see them fight. And I don't want to see Mike Tyson get embarrassed by fighting over and over and over and over again, just like looking like kind of silly. I get he's making money, but man, I just hate I feel like it fucks up his legacy because people now go, "Oh yeah, that's Mike Tyson. Jake Paul beat him. He sucks. He's not even a good boxer." It's like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, you have no idea who he actually
is. Tyson.
Yeah, don't ever say that shit again. What's the next topic, Mike?
Don't ever fucking talk about him like that. Ever.
Shut up.
He's a fucking national treasure. All right, so Jones, Miocic. We watched this, and yes, I did enjoy my time. For everybody that's watching, I went to Kyle's house to watch this with a friend of ours, and we had a good time. We were also up till 2 fucking a.m.
Yep, and Mike had to go to drill in the morning. And I'll tell you right now, once and for all, I think anybody that the people that will say that Jon Jones is not the GOAT are the ones that won't give him that title because of the PED failures. That has to be the only thing that anybody can hold over his head now, because I believe what he did on Saturday night. Yes, Stipe had been out for 2 years, but Stipe is the most decorated heavyweight champion in UFC history. He mopped the fucking floor with Stipe. Once again, Jon Jones just did what Jon Jones does. And we've only seen him in trouble like 3 or 4 times in his entire fucking 28 fight career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's It's crazy. What do you think about him, Mike?
I thought he just did really good, and I don't want to be too braggadocious here, but I thought that's exactly what he was going to do. I just feel like he's too skilled of a fighter. That Stipe's a dog. Stipe was definitely a great heavyweight fighter, but like Jones is on a different level than people. Like there's certain people that he fights that he has a little more trouble with because they're a little smoother, they're crisper with their punches, they're better fighters. And Stipe, I feel like, is more of a dog, and that's what did him well. But he's a heavyweight, right? Like Jones came up. I guess you'd call him Jones. He came up to heavyweight, and he's doing really well. He's just faster than these guys. I think he's overall a better fighter than a lot of these guys. And I just wish he went to heavyweight sooner in his career after he like cleaned the division out and just went up there, because I feel like he would have wiped him out. And for people who say like, oh yeah, well, Stipe didn't fight for a while, it's like, neither does Jon. He doesn't fucking fight. The guy never fucking
Stipe
fight.
did look a little washed.
He did.
You
but
admit
you know what?
that. He did look washed. But they had to get that one out of the way to finish the legacy off. Now he's gonna have to fight Tom Aspinall, and that has to happen. So I mean,
here's the thing.
What's that?
How many other people are doing PEDs and didn't get caught, or did get caught?
Dude, they all do PEDs.
Why aren't they as good as Jon Jones? Can anybody answer that question?
How about this right here? Bowls, Beers, and Brawls says, how many people in the Hall of Fame took PEDs? My answer is 95% of them.
So many people do PEDs. None of them are as good as Jon Jones is. So that's my question. How come we don't have just like a fucking pandemic of fucking fantastic fighters that we're all like going like, no, this person's the best of all time. No, this person is. They all took PEDs. That's why they're that good, but they're all good. It's like, no, it's not. It's not like that.
Right. It's like the steroid era of baseball, dude. They were all doing steroids in baseball, but there were like 10 guys that were head and shoulders above everybody. And that's because they were already that good. They were that much more talented than the rest of the juice heads.
Yeah. He's also was taking he was doing the opposite. He was out partying, not training, and doing fucking drugs that fuck you up.
He was drinking and doing coke. Yeah, come on, man. They all do juice. So I think Jones is the GOAT. I think he needs to fight Tom Aspinall, and they need to stop toying with the idea of Alex Pereira fighting him at heavyweight. I just don't understand that one.
It's gonna be
why?
Aspinall.
Yeah, it's gotta be Aspinall. That's gonna be amazing. I want to about that one. I think we don't have to go too far into that one. Jon Jones is the GOAT, and he proved it again. Michael Chandler, even though he's lost 4 of his last 5 fights, he's one entertaining son of a bitch, isn't he?
Yeah. Yes, he is.
He's got a lot of charisma.
I like how he got up and slammed.
Dude, he plays to the crowd. He's a showman for sure. He's a fighter, but he's definitely an entertainer, and I like that about him. And that's why I wish that the fucking fight between him and Conor did get made, because I think it would have been very entertaining between the two of those two. Charles Oliveira just wins. He just always he had that like stint in the beginning of his career where he was like known as a quitter, and he was like losing a few fights here and there. But yeah, and I agree with Joe Ivy. Conor would beat him. I do think he would. But Charles Oliveira, man, he is a fucking gangster, and he's a top 5 lightweight of all time in my eyes. That dude is just fucking impressive as hell. And that night we were watching the walk-ins. They were doing the walk-ins. He was walking a little crooked. I pointed out to Mike, and I was like,
yes,
look at the way he's walking. I said, something's fucked up with him. He does not look right. They didn't mention anything about it during the
nobody
event.
said a thing about it.
Said a thing. And I'm like, there's something going on with Charles Oliveira, man. He does not look like the normal Charles Oliveira. He came out yesterday.
His leg was like bowed out, weird walking.
Yeah, he had busted a couple ligaments in his leg 2 weeks before the event. I was like, God damn.
Yep.
They must have just been keeping that shit quiet, man. I seen it, and I'm not even that smart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We have a question here from
What's that?
Jason. Is anyone going to the Hard Rock on December 21st? If you're going to the Hard Rock, put it in the comments. These guys are going.
That guy over there is.
These guys are going.
Yep, that guy's going. That's what I'm talking about. We're going.
We'll see you there. You better come and say hi to us. Damn it.
We'll see you there, buddy. Earlier in the comments, I saw that somebody mentioned, I think it was Big Ben, maybe, that Bo Nickel is the next big thing. I will see your Bo Nickel, and I will raise you a Brazilian roofie, because I don't know the dude's first name. I can't remember it, but the roofie dude that fought, right, Mike? A Brazilian roofie, aka the Brazilian Conor McGregor. That dude impressed the shit out of me on that night. He fucking beat the bag off that dude, and they were supposed to fight at 155. The guy came in 17 pounds over, and fucking they agreed to fight at 165. The guy couldn't make weight for 165, and Roofy still fought him and beat the living shit out of him. It was fucking awesome. And he was flashy. The way he moves around the ring is very Conorish, like young Conor in his prime style. It was fucking awesome, dude. I thought that fight was fantastic.
Yeah, no, he's very interesting. I did enjoy that fight also. So moving on to a new topic here. Let's go to the Philly card. Let's do this. Philly card, Alvarez versus Stevens, Knuckle Mania 5.
Knucklemania 5 in January, Mike. I love it. Is this the first card of the year?
Slightly early. Just slightly early. Is it the first card of the year?
Are they kicking off the year with that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because Hollywood is the 21st and then Knucklemania 5, unless they throw something in the middles there.
Yeah, I wonder if they are going to.
All
I will say is the Mish list came out 2 weeks ago. Came out on November 7th. Top fight on my list: Eddie Alvarez, Jeremy Stevens in Philly at the Wells Fargo. And for anybody at the top of the list was that. Also on the list, I hope they all come to fruition. I also have Britton Hart and Poe Denman. That's not going to happen because they're not going to bring Poe from Thailand, but that's just a pipe dream for me. Hannah Rankin and Jessica Borga, they can absolutely put that one on there. And throw Big Ben Rothwell and Nick Terrell on there as well. I would love to see those.
That needs to go.
For those, for the fact that they like announced the location in everything the other day, did they not remember what happened on episode 300 with David Feldman and you and me, these two Stu Nods and David Feldman, September 27th?
That's correct.
September 27th, he came on and he said the date and location is in concrete, January 25th at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. He told us that already.
Yes, sir.
2 months ago. And they're like, the location is Philadelphia, Wells Fargo Center on the 25th. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Pretty good handwriting, Kyle. I'm impressed. You're right. Yeah. Yep. Your clock is broken, Mike.
I just put batteries in it. I don't know. I put new batteries in that last night because Ivy always points out that it's broken, brand new battery. And that thing.
All right. So with that said,
I know it's wrong. Watch this. See that right there?
Was it stuck?
The way that the hands are, sometimes they get stuck.
The little tick, tick, tick thing gets stuck on the big hand?
The minute hand gets stuck on the hour hand, it'll end up underneath it, and then it won't move. Because I can hear it ticking. I fixed that shit last night. Fucking put a battery in on purpose, and Joe Ivy still called it out. Fuck.
All right, so we knew the location, we knew the date. Now we know the main event. What other fights do you think they should put on there? Are there any that like you would like to see put on there, or any fighters in particular that Michael Hunold would like to see on the Philadelphia card? Because David Feldman said himself, and so did Nate Shook, this will be the biggest fight card they've ever had. As far as
biggest fight card they ever had.
Names, firepower on the card. This is going to be the biggest stack of names we've ever seen. So who do you think they're going to have on there? You got to have Mike Perry, right?
Yeah, but how would he not be the main event? So no. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the main event is Alvarez versus Stevens, I cannot see Mike Perry being a co-main event on this card. I just can't see it happening. He would be a main event no matter what. Like, you can't put him on a co-main. I just don't think it's a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I just don't see that happening. So that's what has made it. So that's why I think the heavyweight fight would be good, because I do think that heavyweight fight would be a good anchor for the co-main event of the evening. You know, that would be a good fight, having that heavyweight. But then again, they're champs, right? So you have there's a champ. So that's a champ fight. Why wouldn't they be in the main event? So, but you know what? BKFC has kind of changed the precedent with belts. Like, they do draw then belts. That's usually how it goes.
They've done that many times.
That could happen, and I do think it would be a great fight to put on the card. That is what I mean, we already kind of mentioned that, but I feel like that's the one. I'm trying to think about guys that live in the North, but as you and I already know, there's not many of them that fight in bare knuckle that live in the Northeast. You know what I'm saying?
Britton Hart's from Virginia, right?
Yes.
And Virginia is not far from Pennsylvania. Maybe they can get a fight for her at 115 and let her defend her title in Philadelphia. I would love to see Britton fight on that Philly card. Right?
Yeah.
She's not far from home there. She would probably pull some people over there.
Yeah.
I just don't know who in that division
she would fight.
She would fight right now.
I know. She's a champ. They never said that was the main event, right? Yeah, what are you talking about? Why would they announce Knucklemania and put that fight out there and not be the main event?
Ben says Eddie isn't the main event. Well, I would have to go back. Did Dave Feldman say?
Why would they announce Knucklemania and not give the main event? I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Unless he worded it on fucking Socia's show
that's just the first fight they're going to announce.
He never said that it was a main event, right? I don't know. Maybe he just said that, and in the first fight that we could tell you about is this. I don't know. I don't remember what he said. I just assumed he was the main event.
I highly doubt you would ever announce a fight and not the main event first.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, any card is the main event. Like, hey, Knucklemania bot versus bot. You know what I mean? This person versus that person. They don't go, hey, Knucklemania 5 is going to be here. Oh, and let's give you the third fight down on the card only. Like, why would you even announce the freaking card if you didn't have the main event? I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I highly doubt they would announce that one fight only, and it's not the main event.
Trivia question for you, Mike. What bare knuckle podcast will be the only one to have made it to all 5 Knucklemanias so far?
Yeah, I hope hopefully this one.
Yeah.
Yes, all 5. That'll be fun.
We've been to the first 4, so we're on pace, and 5's right around the corner. We will be there. So hey, maybe he's not the main event. Maybe Ben's right. I don't remember because I don't remember what David said on the show. Never asked and never got an answer. I asked?
What are you saying?
Ben says Kyle asked and never got an answer.
Oh, if it's the main event?
I asked that?
Who the hell knows?
Anyway, I don't fucking know.
Yes.
Anyways, that's going to be a huge
fight
event
on the card right now on their page where the main event fight goes. That's where it's at, and there's a fucking poster that says BKFC Philadelphia with that card on it. Knucklemania. It's the only fight out right now. They made a whole entire poster for this fucking fight.
Eddie Alvarez was watching on Instagram for a minute. If he was still on, we could have asked him.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody over there. Cito was over there. Vinny Pham was over there. Trevor Loken, DJ Tony, Ace of Spades jumped in there after he got off with us. Christine Vicens was on there. I don't know who's still, but a bunch of people were over there. And do we have one last thing to talk about here, Mike?
Yeah, we do. We got something to talk about. This. What the hell's going on with this?
And listen, I know that this is kind of inside the circle, but it's outside the circle right now. We don't know what's happening with these 2 topics that we just talked about. The Philly card, we don't know what the card is. We were just speculating.
Yeah, this is just news. Yeah.
Now, this is news. Biggest prize in combat sports history, $25 million. He drops this bomb on I think it was on Dean Thomas's show on Sirius XM with I think it was Dean Thomas and what the fuck is it? Alan Joe Ban.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, do we have questions? In,
MMA Today, is that what it is? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah,
Oh, Fight Nation channel.
I think it's MMA Today. I think that is it. With
Yeah.
Dean Thomas and Alan Joe Ban, but sometimes it's what's the girl's name?
Anyways,
there's like a rotating host there. Anthony
Smith.
Anthony Smith is a host on there.
Yeah.
But anyways, he drops this fucking bomb on everybody right there, and those guys were like, "Whoa, we got questions," and they're asking questions. He says he can't answer all these questions, but in 3 weeks he will drop all the details. Now, what he did say on that show was like they're going to start with like an open tryout, and anybody from any organization in any fight style can come try out for this tournament. How can they do this, Mike? They're going to have to make
a lot of questions that I have.
There's a lot of questions. Is it going to be like open weight classes, like early UFC? But I can't imagine they would do that. You know what I mean? Because, you're not going to get a fucking 135er fighting a 225 guy in 2025. That's not going to happen.
I was talking about it at work today, counting the weight divisions, how many there are between the men's and the women's. And if they did a tournament, but it's every weight division, it's like a $2 million prize or something like around that for every single winner of every division.
But didn't it sounded like the winner of the entire thing gets 25 million, and he said everyone's going to get paid on the way to the 25 million.
Yeah.
So
is it 175? Is it 185? Is it 205? Is there 100 fighters at 205 that are gonna there's so many questions.
I'm super intrigued, and I can't wait, dude. Can you imagine the kind of guys that like might perk their head up and be like, "Huh,
yes,
like,
oh yeah,
I'm not done fighting yet." Like Cowboy Cerrone, like guys like him, like Robbie Lawler, like guys that are done with MMA, and they thought they were done fighting, but something like this might just be like, you know what, motherfuckers, I got one more run back in me, and I could definitely murk 3 or 4 guys on the way to a $25 million paycheck. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even imagine how this plays out. I'm pretty excited about it. They should run it like a Kumite.
Yeah.
Blood sport.
Do that.
They should do it in a Kumite and have it over like a 2-week period where you just keep fighting people every single day on a fucking raised platform around with a fucking scoreboard and a timer up there, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Right? Frank Dukes, like, put up your Dukes.
Hey, so as you were talking, I brought up the podcast to see what
he said.
Feldman's saying, right?
Yeah. You're listening to it right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Stand by, everyone.
Talking about the arena. So he's about to announce. Yep, Knucklemania. He's showing his T-shirt right now.
Give us the play-by-play. Yeah, keep giving us the play-by-play. What is Sosha doing?
Fargo Center. And he said this is the first fight we're going to announce. So
he did not say main event.
He didn't say main event. This is the first fight we're going to announce. So touche, Ben. He said this is the first fight we're going to announce.
Can you imagine a $25 million $25 million tournament that has Conor McGregor, Mike Perry, Cowboy Cerrone, Robbie Lawler, Eddie Alvarez? Can you imagine like if it was something like that with all these guys? It would be fucking crazy. And Big Ben brought up somebody's name right there. That would have been my answer for the question that we asked in the speed round last night. If you could bring somebody back one more time and let us see what he's got left in the tank, my answer would have been Chris Lytle in the BKFC. That would be my answer. There we go. Yeah. So, man, 3 weeks from now, we're all going to find out. Do you think they're going to have multiple tournaments?
That's what I was saying.
Like a 25 to 45 and then a 55 to 75?
No, because how could they even do that?
What do you mean?
They would never allow that to happen. Like, how could the 55 to 75 tournament happen? You mean like 55 pounders and 75 pounders fighting each other?
Like there's a 20
that wouldn't
pound.
work.
Why not?
They wouldn't allow that to happen. The commission would not sign off on
that's
a 55 pounder fighting a 75 pounder. It would never happen. They'd be like, nope. Nowadays, like if it's a 75 pound fight, they wouldn't let a fighter fight like 5 pounds over. They're like, oh,
but they'll let a 208 pound guy fight a 265 pound guy.
Yep, because it's heavyweight. But I just don't see I mean, maybe there's some kind of pull there, but like old style UFC, like no weight class type shit. But like when I was talking about this earlier at work, we were thinking about this, and that's why I thought it was going to be like maybe it's a tournament for every single weight class and $2 million to the winner of each one to get people. But you would need a lot of fucking people for that. Yeah. Or there would just have to be a ton of people in one weight division too. I don't fucking know, man. That's so fun. I can't wait to ask all these questions. David Feldman, if you're watching this, man, you're going to have Mike and Mish. We're going to ask you so many questions. When we see you in Florida, it's going to be so many questions. Oh, we're going to have so many questions. It's going to be like Christmas. Oh, wait, it is Christmas.
Oh, in 3 weeks from now will be Christmas. Yeah. Is he going to announce it on like the Christmas
lights
show?
On them.
Shit. That's fucking crazy. And actually, when are they doing the Philly? Before we wrap up tonight, we're about to finish up, guys. The Philadelphia press conference. When is that? That's coming up pretty soon, right? Is that
the presser?
The 26th? Isn't that next Tuesday?
I don't know.
I think it's November. I think it's November 26th. I think it might be next Tuesday, actually. Because when he announced it, I was like, oh, maybe we can go to that. It's only in Philly. Me and you could drive down there. And then I noticed that it was on a Tuesday, and I think it's on the Tuesday of Thanksgiving week. So it's next Tuesday. It doesn't really work into the fucking plans, man. No way.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway. I don't know. I do not know, but I cannot wait. I see Chevy Bridges in the comments saying first guy to be featured on 3 Knucklemanias. Just saying. So it looks like Chevy Bridges may be fighting, if that's a hint. He was in the comments saying that.
Has he been on the first 3 or 3 of the first 4?
But wasn't Lorenzo Hunt on 3?
Lorenzo was in 1
on 1,
3, and 4.
At 4, yeah. So he's actually not going to be the first guy. Chevy,
but I'm saying it was hard. Was Chevy Bridges on 1, 2, and 3?
Chevy Bridges was not on 1. He was on 2 and 3, and now he wants to be on 5.
And he wasn't on 4. Okay, so no. Chevy, yeah, you are incorrect, sir.
Your math
Lorenzo Hunt was on 1, 3, and 4. So, was he on 2, Lorenzo?
I don't know.
He might have been on all 4.
He was not on 2 because 2 was Martin
2 was
Brown.
Was 2 when he jumped in the ring and fucking got punched by?
No, that was 18.
That was 18. Okay.
Yeah, that was BKFC 18. The Knucklemania 2 was when Mike Perry made his debut in bare knuckle against Julian Lane. Martin Brown fought Palomino in the main event.
Was Knucklemania 2 where Lorenzo and Mike Richmond got into a scrap at the press conference?
Yes. No.
No, that was a different one too.
That was Elvin Brito versus Palomino.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, we're just going off on a tangent here now.
This is what we do. We just sit there. This is what we do. We just go back and forth. We just talk.
Yeah, we could do this all night, guys. Ace Samples was a fucking great guest tonight. Thank you so much to him for coming on.
Yeah, Hell in a Cell.
The Royal Rumble. Yeah, no, Battle Royal. The Battle Royals when they all start. When they all start in the ring.
Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell is the one with the big cage over it.
That's what she said. What's that thing in wrestling where they have them all in the cage at once? Yeah.
Oh. Because in the Battle Royal, they put them all in the ring. Remember the Andre the Giant Battle Royal in WrestleMania 1?
I had the coolest beta tape of WCW, like Hell in the Cell or something, and it was fucking they're bleeding, mashing each other. Remember Beta? Dude, fucking Beta.
Beta. We got a lot of beta people at our fucking. Never mind.
On for an hour and 39 minutes, and we had one friggin' guest. Can you fucking believe this shit?
I love it. And hey, and the reason why we can be on here is because of Dynamic Life. Get over to @LIV Dynamic on Instagram. Hit the link in the bio. Go to their website. 20 seconds later, you're a patient and you're getting your life right. You're getting your weight loss in check, becoming a sexual dynamo, and possibly living forever. And then get over to the Rasha @Rasha Elite on Instagram. Hit the link in the bio. That'll bring you to www.therasha.com and get that championship mindset. Let's go. Mike, we've been on for an hour and 40 minutes. Yeah. Everybody tune in next week. We are going to have 4 guests on the show. Mike doesn't know that yet because we're not going to do a show on Thanksgiving. I have 4 fighters. I don't have them locked in yet, but Mike, we got 4. So next week, we will talk to 4 people on Wednesday. We love all you guys. Mike, do you have anything else for the peoples at home?
No. Peace.